Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas and this is how to create a Grand Theft Auto style game in Unity, and welcome to episode 50. In this tutorial we're going to create the ability to unlock a couple of trophies in our game world. Don't forget, click subscribe button and click on the bell icon as well to stay up to date with every tutorial still to come in this series and everything else on game development on my channel. And if you've enjoyed the series so far, please feel free to check me out on Patreon or YouTube memberships where you learn things like early access, exclusive content, project files and so much more. With that in mind, let's get to work. So the idea is we want to be able to unlock trophies at certain points within the game and basically be able to link them all through to the trophy menu we created in the last tutorial. Now, we already have our UI in place, which is right here. So first thing we're going to want to do is replace this trophy icon with the actual icon. So let's go to our textures folder and let's go to trophies. And I'm going to bring in two textures. These two right here, and they're nothing too special. I've used them in a couple of projects before. If you want them, you can get them on the website if you head over there, downloads and assets, and yeah, or you can make your own. It's entirely up to you. So this is going to be the first trophy, and it's going to be this little icon here 3 years later. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that trophy, and instead of it being a locked image, we're just going to replace it with that. And we're going to delete that unlock and just rename this to trophy img, and it's as simple as that. So we're going to create the second one, so hold control, press D, and let's change this icon to this one, and this one is going to be for getting into a car for the first time. So let's change the title to be car enthusiast, and obviously it can be quite literally anything you want. It's entirely up to you. And description is going to be get into a car for the very first time in the game. So, you know, anything. You can make up your own trophies as you go along if you need to. Let's rename this to trophy 02. And let's set both of those trophies as inactive up here. Next, let's bring in a sound effect to unlock the trophies. So let's go into our effects folder and import this trophy unlock sound. And as always, like I said earlier, you can get it on the website. So next thing we need to do is basically make it so as we can play that sound whenever we unlock a trophy. Now there's a couple of different places we could have it, but I'm actually going to keep it inside the globals right there. So right click, create empty. Let's name this trophy unlock, and I'm going to attach it and maybe reduce the pitch, the volume a bit. Might increase the pitch to about 1.25 and keep play on await, and let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, there we go. So that ding there will do for the sound. Obviously you can use any sound you want. It's your game. It's up to you how you want to do it. So let's untick play on awake. And now the whole sequence is going to be, we need to have a script which controls when trophies unlock. So let's go to our scripts folder. Let's go to UI. And we have here this trophy manager. And if we go into this, remember that this trophy manager is basically just taking us back to our main menu, but we're also going to use it to control all of our trophies whenever we get them. So this script is going to be attached to any scene where we can unlock a trophy. So how do we do this? Well, firstly, let's actually declare those two trophies that we have. So let's have public game object. I'll just have trophy 01. Obviously, like as I always say, you can change this as much as you need to make it more relevant. It really is your game. So public game object trophy 02 semicolon, and I'm going to go down just a couple of lines because obviously there's going to be more trophies and I kind of like them all grouped together. So next is going to be public audio source, and next what we'll do is we will call it what can we call it? Trophy unlock semicolon. Now, this is going to manage all of our trophies, but we're going to need a separate script, which is going to be a trophy loader. Now, a trophy loader is going to be another script which basically loads in what trophies we have obtained and what ones we haven't. And if you remember, a couple of tutorials ago, we used some player prefs. We're going to use player prefs again to store all that information. For now, though, we just need to have a couple of more variables which are going to be related to changing the status of a trophy to be whether it's on. So to do that, we need to have a relation to each of these trophies. So we can say public int and trophy unlock 01. In fact, I'll call it unlocker 01. And you could use a boolean for this if you want to, true or false. I'm just going to use an integer just because theoretically it's 3 characters less at this point, or 2 characters depending on whether it's true or not. I guess in the long run it might save a couple of bytes, who knows. But either way, we're going to have public int trophy unlocker 02. Now, these need to be accessed from different scripts, so they need to be static. There we go. And the best way that we can do this, in fact, now I think about it, it might be a better idea to use an integer rather than a boolean, because we could have 3 separate states of each trophy. So state 0 would be it's not unlocked. State 1 would be it's unlocking. State 2 would be it's unlocked. So we might actually be better off doing it that way. So where do we go from here? Well, next thing we need to do is create the ability to actually unlock the trophy. So we're going to say in the update method, if, and in brackets, trophy unlocker 01 equals 1, then we do the following. We're going to set trophy unlocker to the number 2. And we're also going to start a coroutine which is going to unlock the trophy. So what we'll do is say down here, public. In fact, no, do you know what? It doesn't need to be public because it won't be on a button. So we'll say I enumerator unlocking trophy, open close bracket, open curly bracket. And we will unlock it pretty much instantly. So we'll say trophy unlock dot play, open close bracket, semicolon, and trophy 01 dot set active true, semicolon, and yield return new, wait for seconds, and we'll wait for 5 seconds before it disappears off the screen. At that point we will say trophy 01 dot set active false. So now we're turning off that trophy. And as I would say, there's loads of different ways to do this kind of thing. I mean, theoretically we could have just one specific UI element that unlocks the trophy. We could have multiple, but I'm not going to deal with too many trophies, and you can do either way. But this is a nice simple way to keep track of everything we're doing. So at this point we now need to say start coroutine, and in brackets we'll say unlocking trophy, open close bracket, semicolon, and save that script. So at the moment nothing is physically going to happen, but I'm going to show you that trophies will continue unlocking until we implement some code which will say it's already unlocked, don't need to unlock it. So how do we do that? Well, at the moment we just need to go back into Unity, and we will attach our trophy manager to the globals object. And on there we just need to set a couple of those variables. So trophy unlock is going to be the sound, and then we're going to have trophy 1 and trophy 2, and I'm going to save that just for now. So we want the trophy to unlock at a certain point. So we need to make sure that we get everything correct here. So sequence holder is where we have the opening script. So let's open up our script, which controls everything. And remember here, we're going down. Basically, this is where it all starts. We're setting everything on. After we've waited for 4 seconds here, once we're going into our game, what we'll do is we will say trophy manager dot trophy unlocker 01 equals 1 semicolon and save. So what that will do is it will say to the trophy manager, hey, we're 1 now, we should actually unlock. And that's what it will do. So if we head back into Unity and press play, hopefully the trophy should unlock. So yep, we're all good here. I only want it to unlock once we're in the world. And there we go. There is our trophy unlocked. And there it disappears. So one other thing to note is because we're not saying there is an element of it already being unlocked, because it resets now, you have to remember that it is going to unlock once again. And it's going to do the same thing in just a moment here, just to kind of prove that. I mentioned earlier that we're going to use some player prefs to prevent that from happening. But either way, there we go, it's happened again. So now let's work on preventing that from happening over and over and over. So to do that, what we need to do is player prefs. So if we go to the trophy unlocker 01, and we say here, as soon as we've unlocked it, we need to set that player pref. So player prefs.set int, and in brackets and quotes, we'll call it trophy 01, and the value of it is going to be 2, close bracket, semicolon. So now, how do we use that information to retrieve whether we have unlocked that trophy or not? Before we go any further though, I am going to save that script and head back into Unity, because this is all going to link around together, and we're going to see the fact that it will unlock in our our trophy view. So on here, remember, currently we're still locked, which is all good. But while we're here, now I think about it, let's actually go to those trophies and create that unlock image. So textures, trophies, so unlock, helps if I actually select it. So that will be the unlocked icon, and trophy 2, that will be that unlocked icon. So let's save, and remember they are off, so that's fine. So let's head back into our main world. There we are, and let's edit this script now. So once we unlock the trophy, we are setting that player pref as 2, which means it is unlocked. So that means that if it's less than 2, it means we should unlock it. But we now need to register that actual trophy number. So to do that, we say public int trophy in fact we'll put trophy status 01, and in the start method we'll say trophy status 01 equals player prefs dot get int, and in brackets the name that we created just a couple of lines down, which is trophy 01, quote, close bracket, semicolon. Just going to get rid of the annotations. So we now need to change this status, this statement here to say if trophy unlocker 01 equals 1 and trophy status 01 equals 0, then we can unlock it. So this will now unlock just once, because we're going to save trophy status as 2, which means that this cannot function because both of these statements have to be true for this to occur. So let's go to here and let's press play, and we shall unlock it just the once. Hopefully, anyway. So this tutorial's actually gone on for a lot longer than I would have liked, but we have the basics down at least. That's one of the main things. So we should unlock now. Excellent. So the variable should be set as 2 and it should be saved now, which means that if we play again, we should not be able to unlock it. I'm hoping anyway. Please don't prove me wrong, game. Please don't prove me wrong. So a couple of seconds. And excellent. That trophy is now permanently unlocked. So let's move on and let's actually get a trophy unlocking for our vehicle. So the other trophy was saying if we get into a vehicle it unlocks. So let's set up this here and say public int trophy status 02, and we'll take, this helps if I spell it right, we'll take this line of code, place it here, and we will call it 2 and 2 and save the script. So now what we need to do is take this if statement, place it just below to say if trophy unlocker 1 is now trophy unlocker 2 and trophy status 1 is now trophy status 2. Also, this set integer is now trophy status 2 and this trophy unlocker 01 now changes to 02. So what is this down here? Unlocking trophy. This will only unlock trophy 1. So we need to add in a little bit more code here, which allows us to say, actually, we're unlocking trophy 2. So to do that, we'll create another variable. So public int, we'll just call it trophy count. So what we'll say here is this is always going to relate to trophy 1. So we'll say trophy count equals 1. And this one we'll say trophy count equals 2, semicolon. And down here we'll say that we want to play the sound. That's fine. But we also want to wait for 5 seconds, and we also want to basically display it. So we can actually use this to our advantage ever so slightly. Like I said, there's always better ways of doing it, but I want to do the most visually understanding way of doing this. So we always want to play the unlock sound, but we don't always want to display the same trophy. So if trophy count equals 1, open curly bracket and delete that curly bracket and then place it there. So that indents nicely. And then we can copy, place the same one, and if trophy count is 2, then we display 2 and save. So all that is saying that we're unlocking trophy 2 now, because this status is now going to change to 1 whenever we get into a car, and this status is always going to be 0 until it gets changed to a 2 because we've unlocked it. And then we tell it that we're unlocking trophy 2, so it comes to here and unlocks trophy number 2 after it's played the sound. So that now means that we have to go to our vehicle script. So if we go to our car and we go to oh gosh, I've forgotten which script it is, to be honest. Is it car user control? No, it's not that one. Which is the vehicle entering script? Which is it? Ah, there it is, vehicle entry trigger. So if we go into that script, and we're basically saying we're getting in the car. So as soon as we get into the car, we're going to unlock that trophy. So just before we get to the start coroutine to exit trigger, we're going to say trophy manager dot trophy unlocker 2 equals 1. semicolon, and save. And now let's head back into Unity and let's test this second trophy out. So it shouldn't really matter which vehicle we get into, because the trophy was to, drive a car for the first time or whatever we put. But yeah, it should unlock with any vehicle we get into. So let's give that a go. Just get into this one here, I think. There we go. Cool. And now if we get out, so that trophy is permanently unlocked, so hopefully if we get into our green vehicle, right, it does unlock again. Okay. Now, the reason I think that has happened is because we need to update this player pref. So what's happening is we are unlocking the trophy, but we're not updating it live in the game itself. So that means we also need to update the trophy status here as well. So let's change the... Yeah, because we set it there, don't we? But it's not live. I think that's the case anyway. So trophy unlocker 2 is 1 and trophy status 2 is 0. And yeah, that is the case. Apologies, I'm being a bit silly there. So trophy status 02 equals 2. Save, and that will work now. So we won't actually unlock it again because we have theoretically already unlocked it. So when we get into a vehicle now, it won't unlock. So let's test this out and then we will discuss what we're going to do in the next tutorial. As soon as this camera pans down. I'm getting sick of seeing this now, if I'm honest. Alright, let's get in the green car this time. And there we go. It hasn't unlocked. Excellent. So now we have unlocked 2 of our trophies. So next tutorial, what we're going to do is we are going to link all that back together to make sure that in our trophy view, we can indeed see that we have unlocked those trophies. So until that next tutorial, thanks very much for watching, guys.